I'm muted. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Rachel. I'll be your host today. I'm just going to wait a minute for some people to come on in, get settled, and yeah, we'll get started. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. We really appreciate it, and it shows that you care about UGC and care about growing your brand and telling your brand story, which we love to see. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us if you're just tuning in. Just making sure that everyone can see me and hear me all right. There is a chat function. Feel free to say hello, what time it is where you are, what your role is if you care to share. Definitely a great group of marketers in the mix today. Hello. Awesome. Right, everybody. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I haven't done a webinar in 2 months, I think, because of managed service, because it's something new that we've introduced, and it's so excited to finally be refining it and making it something that we really want it to be for everyone. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Just a bit of housekeeping before we dive right in. You should be able to see me full screen, and I will soon be also sharing my screen so that you can see the presentation. There is a chat box in case you want to leave a comment, or there's also a questions section if you want to leave any questions anonymously that way too. But just feel free to ask questions. We will answer them at the end during a Q&A. But of course, if something catches my eye, I'll just go ahead and reply to it. But yeah, this session will be approximately 20 to 30 minutes. I'll likely be speaking to you for 15 to 20 minutes anyway, keeping it quite short, leaving a bit of margin for any Q&A at the end. But also, it is recorded, so if you do need to leave, slip out, no problem at all. You will receive a recording of the webinar to your inbox, as well as a template, a briefing template that I promised everyone as part of this. All right, I'm so excited to get started. But yeah, I'm Rachel. I take care of content and creative strategy here at Twirl. Been here for about 3.5 years now since we first started, and it's so exciting to see how much it has grown and evolved, just from being, a UGC platform to now also offering a more managed service. But so what we're tackling today is solving the creator briefing challenge that's really taking up your time. A bit about Twirl if you're new or need a bit of a refresher. We're a UGC platform that connects brands like yours and agencies with our network of over 5,000 creators across the UK, US, parts of Europe, with the goal of creating authentic UGC, authentic content that resonates with your audience, builds trust and credibility, and in turn helps you build community and see growth on your side. And also for the creators, it just means that they, as the consumer, are being rewarded for their skills in creating content, but also working with brands that they truly love and resonate with. So there are 2 ways to work with Twirl. The self-serve, which you all know and love, which is where you submit your campaigns through and it goes live. And now this managed service, where we're becoming your strategic partner to handle the heavy lifting for you in terms of strategizing, creative research, inspiration, and developing the campaigns for you on Twirl. And in the next 20 minutes, you'll learn exactly how our managed service works and whether it's the right fit for you. But of course, I'll expand on things as well, so you do leave it with a bit more than, should I just hire Rachel for this? Of course. But yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Is it showing? Yeah, thank you. Fabulous. Right, our managed service. So I'm the creative strategist behind our managed service. And what I see constantly is, brands coming and working with Twirl and not knowing really where to start with their UGC. Either they're in this like rigid marketing mindset, building campaigns for, TV ads, other sorts of ads, and UGC is now this thing that they want to jump on, but not really knowing where to get started, how to work with creators, etc. What I also see is that, for those that do get started with UGC, they've got the right face for it and everything, but their content feels a bit boring, where it's really blending into the background noise, especially when UGC is popping off. And we see so many brands doing it now. A lot of the times, a lot of formats are repeated, a lot of phrases like game changer or are just so overused that we need to stray away from things and also maybe lean a little less on bland AI generated scripts that aren't then tweaked to suit your actual customer's voice. So something I see there, especially as being the person that reviews all these campaigns, is I pick up on a lot of things. After doing 4,000 plus campaigns over the last year or so, it's really shown me that there's a lot of great marketers who know exactly what they're doing and really lean into their customer voice to build that community. There's a lot of people as well who are in the dark about a lot of that and don't know where to get started or think they've hit the ground running, but are also really ready to just scale up from there. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be covering today. Let's now move on to how it works. So the way with our managed service is that I will be taking care of the creative work for you. I'll be developing the briefs all within our platform Twirl so that they're ready to launch and you can continue to produce your content through Twirl, getting matched with creators, etc. But a little bit about how it works. You would decide on a plan, which I'll show later as well. There's different plans to suit different needs, whether you just want to start with 2 videos or are ready to go for 10 videos. But we would then get on a kickoff call where I would get to know your brand a little bit better, really understand, who your target audience is, where are they hanging out, and how can I, research them to understand what content they consume, what else is out there, so that we can produce UGC that really speaks to them in that way. We then dive into a bit of competitor research, which is where I take everything that you've shared with me about your brand voice, your goals, and any objectives really, and I'll actually first propose concepts for you. So say you were to go with a package of 2 videos, I would propose up to 6 or more concepts that, based on my research, I believe will work well. And from there, you get to decide, which 2 you want to go with in that way. And then sharing that on. Right, so once I develop all the campaigns for you within the platform, how do I make that go away? Okay, oh, it's back. Okay. Once I develop those campaigns for you, you do have the chance to review them a bit more carefully, just checking that you're happy with everything, the messaging, the creative direction, etc., before you then start the campaign. And that's when it will then go live. You'll receive applications from creators. And then once you have a number of suitable applicants, I'll also be very on hand to provide recommendations based on who applied. Because obviously I would have written the brief, so I also kind of have in mind the right creator profile, and I'm then leaning on these creator applications to really see, who gets the tone of voice, who fits into that customer that you're looking to target, so that we can amplify their voice as somebody who, relates to the pain points we've presented. Maybe they've already used your product before. I really look for them and highlight their applications to you. So if you've got, say, 50 applications of creators eager to work with you, I'll then put forward the 5 or the 10 that I think would work best. To then you can make the final decision, of course. But then the rest also happens as normal. You can ship the product out to the creator. You'll be assigned a dedicated account manager who is there to ensure everything is on track and runs smoothly. And then once the creator has the product or access to the app service and whatnot, the content is then delivered to you between 7 to 10 days for you to then review directly on the platform as well. And then, of course, you get the chance to review the content, give your approval or request some revisions before it's then all yours. You get the full rights and you can launch immediately. So yeah, that's a bit about how the process works. Obviously, the first bit is the more managed service bit, but then the rest of the bit from the production onwards is the same across our self-serve and managed. You'd be using the platform as you do. Awesome. Just gonna let that sink in for a bit while I move on. Okay, so a bit about how we do this. So, like I say, my whole job here is to review the briefs before they go live. So I know what makes a strong brief. I've seen the whole end to end from when you submit it to when the creator brings it to life, and I really see how structuring it in the right way can help ensure that you are presenting your brand guidelines, your messaging, your objectives, but also in a way that gives the creator their freedom and also space for them to bring in their personal tone of voice as well, which is really important to make it authentic. Sorry, I'm just getting unnecessary notifications here that I'm going to switch off. So yeah, obviously starting off with a kickoff call, I have a questionnaire that we go through together, understanding what your KPIs are, what's your overall marketing strategy at the moment, and how will UGC complement the rest of it. I'm not asking you to overhaul your complete marketing strategy. I'm not telling you to get rid of everything there, but more so finding how UGC can inch its way in, how it can complement the rest of it, and how from there actually what we learn from the UGC or what we're hoping to learn from it can then also inform the rest of your initiatives, So whether you're using the UGC for paid ads or organic social, finding ways that it's going to connect to whatever upcoming TV ad you do, whatever influencer partnership is on the horizon, things like that. So it'll all complement one another. Going into the research side of things, this is also something I see a lot of brands getting wrong, is that they come in thinking, this is what I assume my customer thinks, this is what I assume my target audience wants, while also having all that noise on this is what makes a good UGC brief, this is what you need to put in your UGC, XYZ. We get so caught up in those structures that sometimes it's really good to kind of have somebody come in and take that bird's eye view look and kind of rethink everything or identify different gaps and opportunities to bring your message clearly to life. So what I like to look into here is that your customers are already telling you everything. Your potential buyers everywhere, they're out there. I look into conversations that are happening right now, whether that's on LinkedIn, Reddit, TikTok comments, I'll look into where your ideal customer is hanging out and see how they are communicating your brand's pain points. That way, it's like the market research I'm doing isn't just, theoretical. It's looking into actual buyer language. And of course, I'm also looking at your competitors' ads, what they're doing, how people are responding to it, to identify ways in which you can be unique in your own way, identify what makes you different, and use that to then amplify it through your brief campaign, etc. And then from there, the strategy behind it is then, okay, I have all my points here, is how am I then going to put this through and find a creator who can tell this story authentically, not just because they look like my target audience or they, have the same background as them, but that they actually genuinely get it. Because the Hello, are we back on? Okay, thank you, we're back on. Can everyone, yeah, all good? Thank you so much. I think where I left off was the deep dive research bit and like how to find the right creator for that. So basically what I was saying is I then develop questions to position your brief in a way that then when a creator on Twirl sees it, they know exactly how to, one, tailor their application to you, but also show you that they understand the pain points that we're presenting and that they relate to it in that way. Because obviously the goal there is to balance your brand with the creator's authentic voice as well. And the way I do that as well with the briefing is usually starting with a more guidance approach. So on Twirl, there's two approaches to the briefing, guidance and scripted. And there are situations, obviously, where scripted can work really well, especially if you come to me and you've already got a few top performing UGC and you just want to capitalize off that, maximize it further, then I can come in and, you know, put together some scripts as well that take all the strong points of it and also bring in some new points that I think would work really well. Not that I think, that I know based on research and strategy. Yeah, in that way. So we would also decide together, you know, which approach is best, maybe even test the two, things like that. Oh, wow, I've just got so much to say about this. I should save some for our actual calls with each other. But yeah, I then developed the campaigns for you on Twirl. So here's just an example of that with Harry's, where they're a shaving brand. And this is just an example template of how I put their campaign to life on the platform. Obviously here I am giving a few ideas on hooks to use. I'm also giving certain pain points and key USPs that are solutions to those. But what I'm doing here is then letting the creator pick what resonates with them, which they would then mention on their application. And once we selected who to work with, the creator then developed, you know, their own script or plan for filming, which is the usual process of a creator anyway. So we can just check that they're headed in the right direction, nothing's been misinterpreted in that way. I will be sharing a template for this at the end as well, or to your email. And if you've had a creative strategy call with me before, you will have already received it. But I'll just resend it in case it's missed. And yeah, the outcome were all these amazing videos. Since you'll be receiving the presentation as well, you get to view that too. But okay, what's included? I'm pretty sure I covered all of these already, but yeah, I'll be your dedicated creative strategist. I'll do some research. I'll develop the campaigns for you. Something I haven't mentioned is that all managed service packages include variations. And this is when the hook and or the call to action is slightly different, just to give you opportunity to do A/B testing on your side, seeing which meta picks up on best, optimizing different videos for different platforms. If you're planning to use it for TikTok versus Instagram, there's lots of different things we can do with the A/B testing. That'll of course be discussed and decided on when we speak with each other. Yeah, creator recommendations, like I said, a project manager, and this is also just a refresher on what's always included with Twirl credits, is that you always get both the edited and raw content, the clean edit, usage rights, multi-format delivery, revisions, and resources like this one. We've got lots of other webinars that you can check out too. Okay, now for the part everyone's probably been waiting for is what are the pricing? So here we go, and these are the different packages too. We obviously want to make it so that you're always going to have something to test and something to learn, and you can only do that when you have at least two concepts. So take that in, maybe look at it for a little bit. Okay. One thing that people get confused by a lot is this whole total deliverables. They see two concepts, two variations. How is it then 6 deliverables? Just to clarify that here, the two concepts are the unique, distinct campaign briefs. You then have the main submission for that, so hook 1, and then 2 additional variations, so hook 2 and hook 3. So at the end of the day, per campaign with the starter package, you would get 3 assets to use for that campaign, that concept. So in total, that's how it leads to 6. But the same goes across all the other plans as well. And we can also customize it. So for example, I had somebody recently who wanted 8 concepts, but then for some topics we decided, you know what, let's first test a few variations, just 2, and then only then can we see what else would work with a third, or even mix and match where one concept had 2 variations and another concept had 4 variations, because we saw so much opportunity to really get the messaging right. And the reason that's so important is because you want to understand what hook is actually going to stop the scroll. I say a lot about, storytelling and making sure that it resonates with people, but it is a lot of strategy behind it as well, where the wrong messaging can easily turn people off quickly. So is that the way you phrase something? Is that the visual of it? A hook goes beyond just what's being said, but also what's being shown and how it's being communicated. And there's loads of those. So it's like so much opportunity for testing different ones rather than, always doing a different video, which isn't always as cost effective. Variations give you that flexibility. All right. And yeah, here we go as well. Oh, just to note as well, the previous, this includes all the creator costs as well. So everything's already included here. This is just a one-off fee that you pay. The credits are added to your account. I develop everything for you. And then if you do want to continue like with managed service, we can always hop on another call, chat through the insights together. That's my favorite part, when we get to come back and I get to be like, okay, what actually did work? What didn't work? And then refine the strategy from there. But okay, who does it benefit the most? We've worked with so many brands, so we know what performs and why. And I also have a good overview of a lot of different industries to kind of get you a little bit better. Use different advanced tools, and also most importantly, I know what briefs creators respond to and how to get the most out of them and really encourage them to be themselves. So have a look at this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. If you want to start with managed service, that's totally fine. But if you prefer to do self-serve and then kind of grow from there, that's also completely fine. Like I said, it's not a long-term commitment. It's a one-off fee that kind of goes at your pace as well in that way. And also, if you just don't have time, if you don't have time, it works, your company wants you to do it, but they can't maybe hire somebody to help out with it, then let me be your little intern for the day in that way and help you do it yourself. Okay, and yeah, just another breakdown on the difference. So like I said, everything after the creator selection part is all the same high quality service that Twirl is known for. The difference being that with managed, I develop the briefs, do some research, create the strategy for you to use in that way. Also, something that's just come to mind is a lot of the times with brands that this is their first time doing UGC, I kind of help them hit the ground running, where I've developed their first 6 briefs. From there, they kind of have a template and can iterate with that. So you can easily duplicate the campaign on Twirl, make a few tweaks based on any seasonal changes and whatnot, and then replicate that itself. That's totally fine. We love to see it. Okay. And yeah, if you want any more proof that UGC is amazing and really helps you amplify your customer's voice and lean into building a community that is credible, believes in your brand, and building genuine brand advocates. That's something, a lot of the things with UGC is, yes, you are paying for somebody to bring this to life for you, but what it inspires is then a community who feels comfortable coming forward, bouncing ideas off each other, engaging in your comment section or in your forums to learn more about them. And these case studies go through it in a bit more detail, which you'll be able to check out. But yeah, thank you so much for listening all. If there are any questions, I'll be here to answer them. I also am already just think like, oh my gosh, did I miss anything? But there is so much to be done here and so much I could talk about for ages as well. So also, if there are any future webinar ideas, do feel free to let me know. As you can tell, I love to yap, and I'm so passionate about what I do here and clearly love my job and what it means to the world. And I know at the end of the day, it's like, oh, it's ads. Like, what is, who does it, whose life does it change? You know, nobody's. But to me, it's really about like, you know, living in a society, in a world where people are super mindful about what they consume and what brands they love and what benefits their lives. And when I meet a founder or a brand who's really passionate about the problem that they're trying to solve, it's such a privilege to be able to come in and, you know, help you do that and find the creators who are going to bring that to life, really. And likewise for the creator, you know, finding that partnership that really, for them, it makes them feel seen. It makes your community feel seen, that somebody like them is representing them, their voice, their experience, etc. So yeah, on that, thank you so much for joining. I will send a recording and obviously the deck to everybody who's interested. And if you want to get started with managed service, you're more than welcome to book a call with me. My diary is free. And I look forward to exploring this further with you. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Okay, no impending questions. I'm going to take that as I did a really, really good job explaining everything. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I hope this inspires you to create amazing UGC, and I look forward to reviewing your briefs when they come through as well. So yeah, thank you. Bye.